Have you ever had one of those nights, the one, you're just staring at the ceiling, counting sheep, maybe even counting the cracks in the paint, just begging for sleep to come? Well, what if I told you the answer isn't some fancy new pillow or $1,000 mattress? What if the secret is actually hiding in your kitchen right now? Let's figure out what you can eat to totally transform your sleep.
The search for the perfect night's rest is nothing new, but it's got a very 21st century name, and honestly, it is blowing up all over the internet. It's called sleep maxing.
So, what on earth is sleep maxing? Well, you can think of it as the ultimate quest for perfect sleep. It's a mix of real, solid sleep science and, let's be honest, some pretty experimental stuff you might stumble upon while scrolling social media late at night. And that's exactly our mission today. We are going to slice right through all that noise, all the fads, and get down to what the actual science says about eating your way to a fantastic night's sleep.
Now, to win this quest, we've got to understand the battlefield first. And that battlefield is the incredibly complex and frankly fascinating world inside your own brain when you're asleep. So let's start decoding the science of slumber.
All right, let's meet the two main players in your nightly sleep story. First up, you've got slow wave sleep, or SWS. This is the good stuff. Think of it as your body's deep cleaning crew, the phase where all the physical restoration happens. And then you have REM sleep. That's the dream weaver, where your brain gets busy sorting through your memories and making sense of your day. So how do scientists even grade our sleep? Well, they mostly look at two key things. First is sleep onset latency, or SOL for short, which is just a fancy way of saying how long it takes you to fall asleep. And then there's sleep efficiency, or ESSE, which is the percentage of time you're actually sleeping while you're in bed. The goal here is pretty simple. You want a short SOL and a really, really high SE.
Okay, so we've got the basic science down. Now it's time for the main event, the great diet war. We're going to put carbs, protein, and fat in the ring, head to head, and see how each one really stacks up for our sleep. And the results are actually pretty wild. A high-carb, low-fat diet, it might help you drift off faster and have more dreams, but you could be sacrificing some of that deep, restorative sleep. Now flip that script. A low-carb, high-fat diet boosts that deep sleep but cuts back on your REM time. And what about high protein? Well, that seems to be the key to staying asleep with fewer annoying wake-ups. The big takeaway here is that it's all about trade-offs. There's no single winner, which means the perfect sleep diet is probably a Goldilocks situation, finding the balance that's just right for you.
Just when you think you have to pick a side in this diet war, the science throws us a total curveball. It seems it's not just if you eat carbs. It's about eating the right kind of carbs. Quality over quantity. Okay, this is where it gets really cool. The glycemic index, or GI, just tells us how fast a food spikes our blood sugar. And one study found that having a high GI meal, we're talking jasmine rice, potatoes, about 4 hours before bed helped people fall asleep way faster. So why does this work? Well, it basically gives a VIP pass to a sleepy amino acid called tryptophan, helping it get into your brain to make serotonin. See? It turns out timing really might be everything. All right, we have totally cracked the code on how carbs, fats, and proteins mess with our sleep. So now, it's time to go on a treasure hunt for some specific foods that are basically nature's own sleeping potions. These are the key ingredients we're looking for on our food labels. You've got melatonin, the hormone that literally tells your body it's nighttime. Tryptophan and serotonin are the chemicals that make you feel relaxed and sleepy. And magnesium and zinc are minerals that are absolutely essential for keeping your sleep on track. First up on our list is a hero you probably weren't expecting, the humble kiwi. Get this. In one study, adults who were having trouble sleeping ate 2 kiwis an hour before bed. After just 4 weeks, they were falling asleep faster, staying asleep longer, and said their sleep quality was way better. How amazing is that? Here's another powerhouse, tart cherry juice. It's one of the very few natural food sources of melatonin, the exact same hormone your brain uses to flip the sleep switch. Some early studies are even showing it can help reduce how severe insomnia is. And the list goes on. Pistachios are packed with both magnesium and melatonin. Fatty fish like salmon can help your body produce more of that calming serotonin. And that classic glass of warm milk your grandma told you about? Well, she was right. Dairy is a fantastic source of that sleepy tryptophan. Wow, we have been on an epic journey. We've decoded the science, we've found the treasure. Now let's put it all together and bring it home with a simple plan you can actually start using tonight. Here it is, your simple 3-step blueprint. Step 1. About 4 hours before you hit the hay, have a small, high GI carb snack to help that tryptophan do its job. Step 2. An hour before bed, supercharge your system with either 2 kiwis or a glass of tart cherry juice. And finally, Step 3. Try to avoid those really heavy, high-fat meals right before you go to sleep, because they can really mess with your sleep cycles. It really is that simple.
So there you have it. We've laid out the science, we've found the foods. The map to a better night's sleep is officially in your hands. Or maybe on your plate. So the only question left is, what are you going to choose for a better night's rest?